Today we're talking about 7 side hustles that you can start today to start earning more money. Now here's the deal. I've watched a lot of the other videos on YouTube that talk about side hustles, and so we're not going to be covering stuff like drop shipping, going to yard sales, and wasting your time. All 7 of these things are things that either I've done or a close friend of mine has done, so I know that they work. And make sure you stick around for number 7, because that one is honestly, I think, the most practical and grow a successful career over the long run. Number 1, building a social media following. Now, building a social media following doesn't happen overnight. Honestly, nothing worth doing even happens overnight. But the reason that I start here is that this is something that you need to be taking baby steps along the way if you want to actually do it. Also, a lot of people have this misconception that you need to build a really large following in order to be able to use social media to earn money. Now, I'd built up my TikTok at one point to around 14,000 followers, and I kind of used that as leverage to work with a bunch of different brands, and usually that relationship was honestly more about them sending me free stuff and then me making videos about it and getting affiliate links. But honestly, it wasn't much work. And even the shirt that I'm wearing right now, this was part of a relationship that I had for a while with Cuts Clothing. Also, there's a new social media tab on the Amazon app. So if you're someone who feels like you're always buying stuff on Amazon, you could make short little TikTok style videos about the products that you're buying. Number 2, you could start learning a skill like photography, videography, or become a drone pilot. I will say this is something that a lot of people perceive as having a higher barrier to entry. However, you do not need to own a camera to get good at photography, because all of us have a camera with us 24/7. I recently saw a podcast with a photographer named Short Stash, and he was just saying that he built up a pretty big Instagram photography following with only photos that were taken on his iPhone. And the reason that he ended up having to go purchase a camera was because he got his first paid photography job. There's so many niches out there, and especially with the way that social media works today, a lot of companies right now are just looking for stuff that's shot on someone's phone anyway. Number 3, something that is very near and dear to my heart is sneaker flipping. Pretty much every single week, Nike, Adidas, a lot of these big sneaker companies are doing exclusive drops. So basically, if you're not familiar with this world, Nike has a sneaker app. And so basically they'll say, hey, this shoe drops for $100 on Thursday at 10 a.m. And so everyone who wants that sneaker, or at least wants to pay the lowest price possible, is going to set a timer for that time, and they want to be the first one to click buy when that sneaker comes out. And there are people who do it so that they can get a really high-end sneaker for retail price. There are a lot of people though who only do it so that they can go to GOAT or StockX and sell that shoe for 2-3 times as much as what they paid. Honestly, this is one of those opportunities though where you could start earning thousands more every single month with just a little bit of work. However, this one is a little bit more risky because you have to do your research and know which sneakers are going to sell for the most after they've been released. Now, the place to do research for this is typically Reddit and Discord, so that you can know which products are expected to sell for the most. Also, you're gonna wanna do your research on StockX and GOAT and see which sneakers are already selling at the highest price. Just know that this one is risky because there are times where you could lose money if you buy a shoe that actually isn't as hyped as you thought it was, and then people aren't even willing to pay retail price for it. Okay, pause. If you want to see videos just like the one that you're watching now, I need you to go right below this video and absolutely obliterate the subscribe button. Write in the comments which ones you've tried, which ones you haven't tried. I'd love to be in a position where I can spend all my time creating videos just like this one for you guys, and the only way that's going to happen is if you hit that subscribe button right now. Greatness doesn't happen overnight, and right here we're building a community of people who want to see each other succeed. Now on to number 4, learn how to edit videos. Now there's so many online free editing tools like CapCut out there, which even work with your phone. So you don't need a high-end fancy computer. You can literally put out professional quality editing from just a phone or an iPad. Also, there are an incredible amount of tutorials online that are going to teach you literally everything that even the top-notch professionals know about editing. I've honestly learned so much from guys like Peter McKinnon and Maddie Hapoya and so many other incredible creators out there who are there just to teach you how you can become a video editor. This is something that I do a lot actually, and it's not uncommon to have projects that are gonna pay you $1,000 plus. That's literally $1,000 that you could be making in one day just from editing videos. Okay, now number 5 is gonna be pretty simple, but this one is for anyone who has any athletic skills or music background. See, these are things that have kind of always existed in our society, and they're only gonna continue to exist. So let's say you play piano. I'm sure there are people in your community who would love to pay you $25, $50 an hour just for you to teach them what you know about how to play the piano. Also, like, every single town has a little league and they're always looking for umpires. Like, I mean, you look at most of these little league umpires and they're not even good. So if you put in the work, you can actually start making money very quickly. Number 6, is this how you're supposed to count to 6 with your fingers? Is it like that? I honestly don't know. This one I'm just gonna kind of lump a bunch together. So we've got Uber, DoorDash, Airbnb, and Turo. Uber, I've actually met a lot of people who do this full time. It's something that, you know, you can just, if you own a car, it's pretty easy. If you don't own a car, this one isn't for you. Next one is DoorDash. This is something that, like, if you live in a city and you own a bike, you can do it with that. I have a good friend who, when he was transitioning from working full-time into being a full-time musician, he actually used DoorDash to fill in the financial gaps that he had. If you have extra rooms in your house, you are missing out on money. Airbnb, guys, people are willing to pay so much money for one night to just use that extra bedroom that you have in your house. This last one is called Turo. Not everyone has heard of it, but it's basically taking the Airbnb model and it's applying it to the world of cars. So let's say you own an extra car. You can list it on Turo. You set your own rate of how much you want to charge per day. From what I know, there's some sort of insurance agreement so that you're protected. Even without doing any work, you're making money just off of a car that would otherwise be sitting around. Now, if you're familiar with Ryan Trahan, he is by far probably my favorite YouTuber out there. He's so well known for his Penny series, and so I would highly recommend checking out Ryan Trahan's Penny series, because in the one from last year, he tried out so many like side hustle money-making techniques, and he does a great job actually showing which ones he earned the most money off of. One of them, though, that he consistently did was DoorDash and Uber Eats. Finally, number 7, this one I think is going to be your best way to make money on this list. It requires probably the least amount of knowledge going into it, and this is one that you can quickly grow and expand to do full time. You're going to become a social media manager for local businesses. Most small business owners do not want to think about their social media. Like, it's one of those things that just to them feels like a waste of time and they don't want to think about it. Pretty much everyone, when they think of social media, they think of people who are our age, people who are in their teens and in their 20s. So what you're going to do is figure out what works best for you in your schedule. Personally, I would recommend negotiating a contract where you do 3 social media posts every single week. Now, here's the best part. All you have to do is once a month, you just go and you spend an hour or 2 at this, let's say it's an ice cream shop. What you're gonna do is every single month, you're gonna spend 2 hours there. You're gonna take as many photos and videos with your phone as you can. And then what you're gonna do is once you get home, you're gonna go through and figure out which ones are your favorites. Then you go on Meta Business Suite, which is Facebook's kind of backend that lets you schedule stuff. And you're gonna schedule 3 posts a week for the next month. And literally, just like that, your work is done. Now, if you want to take this one a step further, what I would recommend doing is just turning on notifications for that account on your phone so that every single time someone comments on one of your posts or tries to send you a message, you can instantly respond. This is going to take up so little of your time, and this is something that literally you can grow into a very successful company. Start hiring other people and outsourcing the work to them, and you start managing the company as a whole. Seriously, this is one that instantly you can start earning hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. So here's the deal. At the end of the day, nothing that's great is going to happen overnight. That's just not how success works. But if you actually want to build something great, today is the time to start. No one can want your dreams more than you do. Now, I'm curious if there are any that I've left out that you have used to make money. I'd love to hear about it. Make sure you drop a comment, and I'd love to just get to know you better. Keep crushing it and have an awesome rest of your day.